The surge of Internet of Things devices in users' everyday lives has resulted in an unprecedented amount of personal data, which powers technologies across all sectors. Here, the turn towards personal data in traditional media is driving innovation, but introduces a number of socio-technical challenges, including cybersecurity issues. This presents imminent concerns to public service media, for whom audience trust forms a core part of their remit and legitimacy. Subsequently, the BBC are urgently looking into responses, experimenting with physical devices like the data box and Solid, championed by Tim Berners-Lee, that are at the edge of the network. Edge computing has the benefit of being more secure, as data does not need to be sent over a network, and so has bandwidth and connectivity benefits as well. Currently, personal data is kept by each service provider. Users are unable to see, interact with, or even understand their data. Our research challenges this model. Participants were given the chance to use a prototype personal data store called MyPDS. With it, they were able to download their media usage data from different streaming sites and use that data to create more accurate recommendations. They were able to look at their data via a new suite of services and interact with the data on an engaging manner and choose and decide who has access to the data in MyPDS. We talked to a number of participants after they got to use the MyPDS app. We found that using the PDS increased engagement with their data.
I wouldn't have even considered these different angles to my data, things like insights, values and interests. It made me realise how powerful data can be.
I think I would use it all the time, but I think certain profiles I'll use more than others. I feel like the finance, I'll probably use that every day because I'm always out and about and I'm spending, and it's just hard to look at all your accounts and say, this is how much I spent on that one, and then you have to go to the other one, check. So it'll save me a lot of time.
Well, for Netflix and Disney Plus, if you could share the data across the two of them, they could both suggest you things to watch on there based off your watching history from both the apps. I think it could be really beneficial. With at the moment, mental health is a big thing, and it's becoming we're having a bit of a pandemic of mental health with lockdown and everything. And I think some of the extra apps that were mentioned, the one I spoke about before, with the food and science to improve your mental health, I think that could be really beneficial to society.
If I had to pick one thing, possibly how data can actually be used for a good thing, for good causes, medical research, or reducing the carbon footprint, helping you to make better lifestyle choices for how you eat as well, and all different sorts of things. I think that was the part that really appealed to me.
I don't think we really think about data enough, and it's kind of an easy way to get into it. It's like an app. We've all got apps anyway, and being able to add more to it as well. So when I saw the prototype and being able to add, say, my Spotify or my Strava or other apps that I already use, I thought that was really useful. And then because I already use those apps, I'm more likely to use that app because it all integrates, and then I would be thinking about data a bit more. That's what I really liked.
I just think it's just a lot more streamlined way of doing it, and I just like the idea of being able to have lots of different apps that you're interested in, or using one thing to get the data rather than having to agree to lots of different things. And I just think the element of control is the main thing.
Data portability became a valued aspect of using MyPDS.
Then you know where your data is and that you can control it, and it's all linked to one place, not 5 million companies.
I'm fully behind that idea. I think it's great because ultimately we need to have that choice over what services we use, and a lot of the time companies will just lock you in and make it really difficult to switch provider.
I think maybe a security guarantee, and even if it spoke through the steps of how it keeps your data secure in simple terms.
I think if I got the other app that I was going to switch to via the PDS, and then it told me there was just a tick list of what it's going to send over, and I could just pick and choose, I think that would be so much easier.
If an app that has my data has been hacked and PDS knows I use that app, then I want the PDS to send me email saying this is what's happened.
Finally, from using the MyPDS, accountability became an important factor.
also just being able to see the other side of the technology. We've always consumed technology and never questioned it.
Yes.
So I think one major benefit is just seeing the other side of this technology and how it can affect our lives.
I think it's just all about having transparency, really, around the whole process, making it accessible. So if this feature was brought in and hidden behind a load of walls of text and T's and C's, it kind of defeats the point for me. So I think as long as the PDS is transparent and makes it simple, that's all I can ask for, really.
I think it would help people become a lot more educated in their data. So sort of being able to see what different companies are collecting about them, and I think obviously some you realise, or Netflix looking at what you view or what you like and things like that, but then there are some data that companies collect that you don't have an idea of, or you didn't really know how they're using it as such.
I think there should be an option that if you want the terms to be broken down and made simple, then yeah.
It coming from the place it's come from with the BBC, I would be a lot more inclined to trust that they know what they're doing. They've been a company forever, pretty much, so I think I can trust them to make a reliable app that consolidates things.
I think the BBC was a reasonable fit. Like, they're a royally mandated company, but they're not government owned, if I understand correctly. So they are this public-facing company who their reputation is completely built on public trust, and they have a pretty good reputation. I think most people trust them. So I think it's a relatively good fit.